Star Wars movies manage to pack a lot of content into a couple hours, but there's always more of the story that isn't necessarily laid out on screen. Thanks to the recently released novelization of Star Wars: The Last Jedi, many new details about aspects of the film's story have come to light, so let's check out 8 surprises found in the Star Wars: The Last Jedi novelization. Obviously, spoilers ahead. Luke had already decided to burn the Jedi texts. In the film, we see Luke Skywalker set out to burn the tree containing the ancient Jedi text after Rey departed Ahch-To to confront Kylo. However, in the book, we discover that Luke had already planned to do such a thing, but was delayed when Rey showed up insisting on him training her in the ways of the Force. Fortunately, by the time he got to it, Rey had already packed the ancient text away in the Millennium Falcon. Kylo Ren would have saved Leia if possible. Going into The Last Jedi, it was reasonable to assume Kylo would be willing to kill his mother, given the fact that he had no issue stabbing Papa Solo in The Force Awakens. But when the moment came, Kylo hesitated. The novelization notes that he made this decision because he felt she wasn't angry with him, and goes further to say that he would have used the Force to stop the missile fired by his wingmen if it all hadn't happened so fast. Palpatine knew about Snoke's existence. For 6 movies, Palpatine was the puppet master working to overthrow the Republic in the name of the Sith, before ultimately being tossed down the shaft of a soon-to-be exploding Death Star. Before his death, though, Palpatine sensed Snoke through the Force, though he wasn't sure exactly who or what he was sensing. Perhaps if he had learned Snoke's identity, he would have taken steps to eliminate him. Snoke's takeover of the First Order was unexpected. Sadly, for those of us that are curious, The Last Jedi novelization doesn't help with pinpointing where exactly Snoke came from, but it does tell us a bit about how he became Supreme Leader of the First Order. Those familiar with the events in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 video game will know that Palpatine established Operation Cinder as a way to destroy the Empire in the event it was going to fall, and establish the First Order in its place. The surviving Imperial leadership followed through with this very plan, but they hadn't foreseen Snoke's rise to power. In order to cement his place at the top, Snoke killed most of these leaders, though he kept Hux around as a tool. Snoke learned more about the Force in the unknown regions. Again, Snoke's history is still very much a mystery to fans of the Star Wars universe, but we do now know that he learned a lot about the Force in the unknown regions, a corner of the Star Wars galaxy that isn't mapped out. If you've read some of the post-Return of the Jedi literature, you may already know that the First Order hid many of its bases and labs in the edges of the unknown regions, so Snoke is clearly a big fan. Luke and Snoke have met. Luke Skywalker and Snoke never shared any screen time, but it was clear that they were aware of one another. As it turns out, they actually met each other at one point. Following the events of the Return of the Jedi, Luke and R2-D2 traveled the galaxy to learn more about Jedi history and the Force, and during this time, Luke connected with Snoke in order to broaden his Force knowledge. Though it is unclear if Luke knew right away that Snoke was evil. Snoke considered killing Kylo Ren. Even though Snoke stated that Kylo had redeemed himself for his past failures, Snoke still planned to re-examine Kylo's future after the Resistance was destroyed, even going as far to possibly kill Kylo, which just proves that there really is no such thing as loyalty when one embraces the dark side. Rey is a manifestation of the cosmic force. Thanks to the Clone Wars TV series, we now know some interesting facts about how the Force is classified. The living force being the energy of life, with the cosmic force being the will of the universe. According to The Last Jedi's novelization, Rey came to be through the will of the universe. The novelization also mentions that the cosmic force fell dormant once the Sith were defeated and re-emerged during Luke Skywalker's exile on Ahch-To. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to CinemaBlend for more entertainment news you care about.